Friday morning in the city of Lagos, Southwest Nigeria, and today is 23rd of December 2022. Compliments to our viewers as just few hours to Christmas. Now let's move on to the front pages of the dailies this morning, and I'm starting with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with NAIRA redesign, 500 million new notes, all that, says CBN. Benefit outweighs risk, policy not based on politics. POS operators are within new withdrawal limit to partner NOH, others on public awareness. You can see that story on page 5. On page 13, Senate fails to pass 2023 budget, cite errors and late submission. And here, of course, is the Yuletide season, and it's showing the travelers, consumers making last minute purchase as part of the preparation for the Christmas celebration in Abuja. Also, passengers at the Muritala Mohammed Airport to Lagos to catch flights to their various destinations to the Yuletide. Also, travelers waiting at the television motor park, Sabontara, Kaduna yesterday. And of course, this is all in preparation for the Christmas. Now, on page 8, we have 2023 APC, Labour Party, PDP disagree over ANAP poll results. Presidency, I will disclose my choice candidates in January. That's coming from Wiki rules out article. You can see that on page 12. On page 9, Yuletide, federal government declares December 26, 27, January 2nd, public holidays. Federal government police want to rig presidential election in Southeast. Blame it on IPOP, ESN. You can see that story on page 11. 9 attackers of Atiku's convoy charged to court. That's coming from Borno CP. Stories above on page 9. Scarcity. Growing queues at petrol stations baffling. That's coming from Moman. Manufacturing sector leads in federal government's VAT revenue. Rises 25%. You can see that on page 19. And lastly, on Vanguard, Nigeria decides 2023. 2023, burning of INEC offices worrisome. That's coming from Umumelon, Accord presidential candidate, and you can see that on page 4. Now, away from Vanguard, we move to the Punch newspaper. The Punch this morning is leading with cash limits not anti-people. CBN insists reps knock Emefiele. The policy we open rural underserved communities to economic opportunities. That's according to CBN Deputy Governor. Apex Bank orders 500 million pieces of new notes, says nation ready for cashless economy. Emefiele flouting CBN Act, policy ill-timed and irresponsible. That's according to lawmakers, ex-ADC chairman. You can see that on page 2. Class of US-based hotelier, Lagos Ibadan highway kidnappers arrested, and the photo stories is showing on the front page of the Punch newspaper. On pages 4 and 5, driver dies, passengers escape as container crushes vehicles. And lastly, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, we have Yoruba Nation agitators welcome Akitoye's exit back at Deniro. That's all on Punch. Now let's move to the Guardian. Guardian is leading with lawmakers' constituency projects delay 2023 budget. Senate fixes December 28 for passage of appropriation bill. US Africa Leaders Summit Beyond the Symbolism, a catch-up race with China. You can see the stories on pages 4 and 5. And lastly, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper, we have how we remove petrol subsidy. Tinubu vows at business lunch. You can see that on page 7 of the Guardian. And the Nation this morning is leading with Tinubu multiple exchange rates, a petrol subsidy to go. APC candidate promises to fix power, introduce a student's loan. There's a quote here. It says, I am no CBN, but I know that could go away. If I'm the president, when you vote for me, write it down and confront me when it is time. You can see that story on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Federal government attacks Atiku over border reopening promise. You can see that on page 4. Suspects in Lagos, Ibadan road abductions arrested. 10 die after power surge. Stories above, we have a budget passage shifted to next week. Mustafa loses AA presidential ticket. Also, criminals won't stop 2023 poll, says a minister. INEC predicts a 50% turnout. Lastly, on the front page of the Nation, we have 94% of cash transactions falls within 500,000 naira limit. You can see that on page 35 of the front page of the Nation. And of course, that's all we have on the front pages of the dailies. Join us after the break for the analysis. Welcome back if you are just joining us. This is Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Dablola Ogunshaki. And let's move straight to the front pages of the dailies. And of course, against the backdrop of complaints by the banking public that banks are not dispensing enough of the redesigned Naira notes, the governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Mr. Emefiele Godwin, has said that a total of 500 million units of the newly redesigned currency notes were ordered from the meeting company. Meanwhile, the Apex Bank has explained that its research has shown that operators of mobile money services, otherwise known as a point of sale, that's POS, were comfortable accommodated. We were comfortably accommodated within the revised withdrawal limit. It also alleged fears that the new cashless policy of the bank will impede job creation. Of course, Emefiele spoke through the deputy governor of the Apex Bank in charge of the financial system stability in the CBN, Mrs. Aisha Ahmed, yesterday when she appeared before the House of Representatives plenary session in Abuja at the instance of the lawmakers to brief them on the new monetary policies that had become controversial in some quarters. He said that the timing for the implementation of the monetary policies, especially the cash withdrawal limits, no, not was neither here nor there, adding that the 19 days notice in the estimation of the bank was enough to get Nigerians sensitized. He, however, informed that CBN was partnering the National Orientation Agency, that's NOA, and other similar bodies to fully create the needed public enlightenment on the new policies. It will be recalled that the House had, through a motion last week, mandated Emefiele to cause appearance on the seemingly vexatious policies of the public. Now, let's move away from that and talk about this one. The Senate dashed the expectations of those who expected it to pass the 2023 appropriation bill into law yesterday. The Senate failed to pass the 2023 appropriation bill as earlier scheduled, blaming the executive arm of government for not only submitting the budget proposal very late, but presenting a bill filled with errors. There were strong indications that the 2023 budget was not going to be passed by the senators when the budget report was not listed on the other paper for yesterday's legislative activities. Prior to the disclosure by the President of Senate, Senator Ahmed Lawan, the senators had gone for an executive session shortly after the plenary resumed for the day, and the closed session lasted for 15 minutes. President Muhammadu Buhari submitted the 2023 budget proposals of 20.51 trillion naira to the National Assembly at a joint sitting on October 7, 2022. Meanwhile, the Senate will defer its traditional Christmas holiday to enable the lawmakers to attend what was described as President Muhammadu Buhari's error-filled budget proposal for 2023. I mean, what was described as President Buhari's error-filled budget proposal for 2023. The Senate was expected to proceed on Christmas and New Year holidays following the passage, but the decision to push forward the passage of the budget proposal has changed plans. The lawmakers, like we said earlier, they blamed the executive arm of government for submitting the budget proposal very late and with errors, disclosing that the process of cleaning the errors contained in the appropriation bill was concluded yesterday, adding that the two chambers have to harmonize the copy to be able to present the report for passage by both chambers on December 28, 2022. Now, Lawan disclosed that the Senate and the House of Representatives were collaborating with the executive to clean up the errors on the budget ahead of its passage on Wednesday. And it seems that they won't be going for their holidays early. Now, let's move away from, of course, Senate and the president. Now, let's move to PDP, APC, and Labour Party. They disagreed over the ANAP poll. Of course, we showed Labour Party, that's LP presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, as the favorite to win the 2023 election. For the second time in 4 months, the survey concluded this month showed that Peter Obi is ahead of three other frontline candidates. The other three candidates are Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the All Progressive Congress, that's APC, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), and Senator Rabiu Kwankwanso of the New Nigeria's People's Party (NNPP). The poll conducted by NOI Polls Limited and commissioned by ANAP Foundation showed that Obi had 23%, Tinubu scored 13, Atiku got 10, and Kwankwaso polled 2% in the fresh poll released in December. Mr. Tedo Peterside yesterday said on Politics Today program that is being hosted by Channels Television. He said that the 2023 election has moved past a three-horse race, as said in an earlier poll released in September, to a four-horse race. Reacting to the poll, Mr. Danjuma, that's APC senatorial candidate in Taraba, who currently represents Ibu Wukuri constitutes of Taraba State in the House of Representatives, said the survey was centered on elites and social media users who he said were not in any way close to grassroots voters that want Tinubu. He said, and quote said, the sampled polls are mere assessment from the social media users and from his experience in Nigeria's politics. The report they are getting from grassroots, which is their target, which is a target as a party, is Tinubu all the way. The grassroots are over 60% of the nation's population. That is the direction of presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Meanwhile, on the spot, spokesperson and director of public affairs of PDP Presidential Campaign Management Committee, Senator Dino Malai, described the poll as accurate and teleguided social media survey. He said the survey is Ashet's job, and that Peter can continue to win on social media and also the teleguided surveys while Atiku is winning in reality. Just we have few days to the election now, and different reports are coming up, especially this poll on social media. But of course, we saw the campaign of Labour Party. We saw our people trooped out. We also saw the campaign of Atiku Abubakar and also the campaign of Tinubu. Of course, it's been going on in different states and it's going to continue next year. Now, let's move on. Also, talk about this one. Well, the federal government has declared December 26, 27, 2022, and also January 2nd, 2023 as public holidays. December 26th to mark the Christmas holiday, the Christmas, and also December 27th to mark the Boxing Day, and January 2nd to celebrate the New Year. And of course, when it comes to holidays, Nigerians, we all love holidays. And let's just celebrate and let's marry. Let's just look at Mr. and Mrs. And the first person leading this morning, the first person speaking this morning is Mr. Mr. says, didn't I tell you not to include his name in the list of guests for the Christmas party? I don't like the way he was rolling his eyes over you when he came here. And Mistress replied, but the man is a good man, oh. He is from the lineage of the three wise men. He gave me 150,000 naira last Christmas. And you're telling me he's not going to be included on the list of Christmas guests? It's not possible. Will Mrs. tell you she does not want money? 150,000 naira. Of course, he is really from the lineage of the three wise men. And of course, let's just give out this Christmas. I mean, it's a season of love. It's a season of even. So you can also, go to Mrs. House and, give Mrs. House, but not with bad intentions. Now, this is where I have to draw the curtain today. My name is Damlola Okunshaki. Do well to like and follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Our WhatsApp number is also displayed